1974, I graduated from high school in Cambodia, and then I didn't want to go to a medical school, but I had to go because my mother, like you said that you must go to medical school. And in Cambodia, not like here, you got no choice. You never talk back to your mom, you know. And on top of that, she was sick. She was so sick then, so she hoped that I could become a doctor, taking care of her. I was a son, you know. She had my family. We have 8 brothers and sisters, so I'm the youngest actually. 6, you know, the two oldest brothers, they were working for the government, then supported by the U.S. And then my third sister, who came here, who lives in Howard Town, right? She used to be a principal of a girls' high in Cambodia, and her husband was a doctor. So she works for the Catholic Relief Services, and her husband worked for CARE, you know, for American organizations. Then I got 2 other brothers, number 4, number 5. Both of them were teachers. And then my sister, the youngest sister in the family, you know, she also worked with my older sister with the Catholic Relief Services. Then the 2 of us, the youngest, my older brother and me, we were in medical school together. So in April, 1975, just, you know, right a few months after 1974, the Khmer Rouge came, and then they closed the school, they sent everybody to work, and I was separated from the rest of my brothers and sisters who live in Phnom Penh then, because I was the only one who went back to Battambang, because I had a feeling that something wrong there. Right? I wanted to get out of the city, but nobody could get out except my third sister, the one who worked for the CRS. And the American came, and then they withdrew their troop on April the 12th. So they took her and her family out. And she didn't want to get out. She thought that, you know, it was too many bombings. The Khmer Rouge shoot rockets, you know, every few minutes or so to the city. So she thought that the American just took her out for a few days and then she would come back. So I have 1 sister, 2 sisters, and 2 brothers, and me living in Phnom Penh at that time. And none of them wanted to get out, except me. You know, I thought that I couldn't stay there. We couldn't go to school to study either, because on the road sometimes you heard the rocket. We call the Russian 122 millimeter rocket coming in. You can hear that, and then you have to duck underneath the building, you know, and people get killed every day. Even in the medical school, sometimes we have to duck on our table. We couldn't study. We couldn't do anything. So actually, me and my older brother in the medical school, we wanted to leave the country. And the only choice then, we would go to France, because our school system in Cambodia was in French. And that would be our better choice to go to France. So I got the passport, everything, but too bad, Air France couldn't land because the airport was attacked by the Khmer Rouge then. So after the April 12, when my sister got out with the American, I told the rest of my family there that we have to get out too, but none of them wanted to get out. So me alone, I took the airplane back to Battambang. And then the experience that day alone is very, you know, I mean, very serious. I went to the airport around 8 o'clock in the morning, and then my older brother took me to the place where we bought the ticket. There were no tickets to go anywhere. It was sold out. And then there was one man, luckily, said that, oh, I got 2 tickets. I want to sell one, right, and then keep one for myself. They will increase the price, double price. Say, no problem, you know. I bought the ticket. And then I asked my older brother to come with me. He said, well, I wait for another day. He wanted to go to another place, to Koh Kong, which is near Thailand, where my oldest brother lived at that time. So I went to the airport by myself, and then the airplane couldn't land because the rocket kept coming every 5 minutes. So we were sitting, nobody sit on the chair, on the sofa. We had to sit underneath it. I waited until 3 o'clock. Finally, my airplane came, right? So when my airplane came, people got out, and then, you know, the engine never stopped. So we ran into the airplane, got in there, lie down on the floor of the airplane because all the windows were broken. and then the airplane flew up to the sky. So we cheered because we thought that at least we'll be our range of the shooting from the Khmer Rouge around that area. We can see them. And only took 45 minutes from Phnom Penh to Battambang. So before we reached Battambang city, the pilot already announced that the Khmer Rouge already cut off the road from Phnom Penh to the airport. Then I know that I would probably never see the rest of my family again in Phnom Penh. And all of them were missing, considered as missing. It means that they were killed by the Khmer Rouge later. Yeah, never saw them again. So I went to Battambang, then I met my father. My mother just passed away in December 1974. Yeah, so my father and two brothers who were teachers and their family were still there. And then a week after they evacuated Phnom Penh city, they also evacuated Battambang city. So me, my father, two brothers, one brother and his family went to live 5 kilometers down the stream called Songkai River, right, where that's the village of my mother's side. So we went there, and then we shared a house with my aunts and the other villagers and so on. And the other brother went to another side of the river, but not too far away. Then when we got there, first they came, and then they start to screen the enemies. That's what they call. See, these Khmer Rouge people, before the war, most of them were criminals, right? They kill someone, they owe money, they drink, they gamble, and then they couldn't stay in the society, so they went to the jungle to join the communists. The communist group was small before, but they grew bigger once because of the king who was ousted by Lon Nol, the general, who was supported by the U.S. The king went to Beijing and then joined the communist group and announced it from China, asking people to fight to get back the power for him. That's number one. Number two, because there was so much corruption in the U.S. by government then. They sold guns, they sold everything because they didn't have enough money, so they would do everything, right? And also number three, because of the Nixon theory, then that he thought that to win the war in Vietnam, he must bomb Cambodia. That brought the war into our country in the first place. Could you imagine like a B-52 when they went to drop 30 tons of bomb in a village? Most of the time the villagers who die, not much the Khmer Rouge, not much the guerrilla, but the innocent people, women, babies, that angered the people. That made the people want to fight for the king, for the Khmer Rouge, instead for the American, right? So finally, they grew bigger and bigger, and then they won the war in 1975. So first, people would come out and greet them. I went there too to greet them when they came. We thought that finally we got peace. We were sick and tired of blood, of killing each other. So when they came, we saw them, and then we thought, they said, we were in big trouble. Because these people, they didn't come for peace. You can see their faces. They came to revenge. People that they owe the money, people who put them in jail before or something, and then they come back to kill. So right away, they were looking for the enemies, screening, right, when they evacuated people. And then the enemies are who? Teachers, students, people from the city, Chinese people with light skin, Cambodian, a typical Cambodian, dark, wavy hair, dark skin, tall. And now they came back to get revenge. And for me and my family, if you look at every category, we were the enemies, Any tied to the French, to the Western culture, you are the enemy. I came from a family considered as a rich family, have tied with the French, with the Western culture, have education, high education, that's considered as enemies. Working with the American group, that's considered as enemy. Right, city people, So right away, they place us in a village that we know that there were 100 names in that village that's supposed to be the enemies, and all of us know right away that our name must be on that list.